Hello everyone, Jaime Mantilla here, and in this video I'm going to show you a Zillow Zipcode search scraper. I'm going to start it from scratch. I'm using Apify, which is the API marketplace that I've talked to you in the past, which is pretty much an API is more like a middleman for you to gather data and fetch data in order for you to get, the information that you need. I'm going to show it to you how it looks raw. And then with the application that we're going to build, we're going to make sure that we visualize this data in a manner that a user can actually use it. So it's going to take a little bit longer, hopefully no more than an hour. But I'm going to take you through, a step by step, what I'm going to be doing to, create the prompt, to gather all the information that I need to make this prompt work, and the tools that I use. So in this case, I'm just using Apify to get the endpoint, and I'm using Cursor AI, which is something, again, that I've seen in the past. Another thing that I've noticed is that based on the analytics of YouTube, over 95% of people that watches my videos is not subscribed. So if you've seen a couple of videos of mine and you like my content, just click on the subscribe button. That way, that can help me stay up to date here and kind of notify you whenever I create a new video, okay? So with that said, I'm going to start here. I'm going to go to the Apify console, and I'm going to go to the actor section. The actor section will tell you which actors you are subscribed to. And I'm here at the Zillow Zipcode search scraper. I just did a run. And this run, I'm just going to maximize this here. I got 100 results. It's very inexpensive. You get $9 for every 1,000 results. So you can see here, this cost 20 cents to run. And Apify, they're generous enough to give you $5 for the free plan. So as you can see here at the bottom, I've spent 65 cents today with few runs that I've done. But this is the data that you get, right? Normally you could put this on a spreadsheet and then you would have to parse through it to understand it. If you want to get, the average of the pricing, or so pretty much here is not as user-friendly like if you have it in front of you on a UI that is going to give you the ratios and the averages and things like that, and the visuals of the images. As you can see here, you can expand the data, but this data doesn't really make sense. It's just too much. So what we're trying to do here is to have this scraper put it in a UI that is more user-friendly for someone to actually use it. And that's what I'm going to be doing here in this process, okay? So normally what I do is I have my prompt, which you've seen it before. So you're a Python engineer and your task is to build an app using Python and Streamlit. Please use a solid code and standards to keep code organized and build unit tests to make sure everything works as expected. Here's the app idea you want to build. In this case, that's a placeholder. So it's going to be this. I'm going to copy that here. Here's the bottom says, make sure you build this app using Python and Streamlit. Provide detailed instructions for each comment and understand, to understand the code structure, unit test, the git ignore file, readme.txt. Lastly, create a UI mockup if you can based on the Streamlit code you create. Please keep it simple. Okay, so it's a very simple prompt. Again, prompt engineering, you can actually modify it, you can improve it, do whatever you want. This has been working for me, so that's what I've been using, and that's what I'm going to continue to do here. Okay, so I'm going to get the details for this scraper, and I'm just going to start gathering information about this specific scraper. Okay, so in order for you to make it work, you need to understand what it looks like, what are the parameters that it gets. So in this case, it requires a zip code, requires a minimum price, maximum price, days in Zillow. There's different parameters that you can utilize to be able to get the data back. In this case, we're just going to get the for sale agent, but you can get the for sale by owner, for rent, or sold. So we're just going to keep it very simple. And this is what I need. So I need this, which is the inputs. So I'm just going to put here, input, sample. I'm going to paste that JSON object. I'm going to go here to the information tab. I'm going to gather, there is a sample output for this. So I'm just going to copy this here. I believe I have already here in the response. I wanted to save it, but that's what it looks like. Okay, let me see what else can we gather from these. There's nothing else. Runs, that's fine. Builds, fine. Integration. Well, another thing that I need is my client API. That way it knows what to do. This actually, you're gonna need a token also. So I'm gonna add that in a minute. But I'm going to need this client, which is pretty much how it's going to make the call to the actual actor. So, you know, each actor has his own ID. So it needs to know which actor I'm going to be calling. And that's how you get this information specifically within the actor itself. So I'm just going to go ahead and come here and say API client. Okay. And I'm going to paste that. Let's see what else. And I think that is it. Yeah, that's it. All right. Now I want to organize the code a little bit. And I want to give it a structure here. So I'm just going to go ahead and I have a boilerplate that I normally use for this. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy it, and you can actually, and then I would explain to you what that means. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that here on the other screen real quick. All right. And as you can see here, it actually pasted this structure. So it is my source file. I don't want this app py that actually has to be app.py. I want that outside. So I have the source, I have these init.py files that are needed on any file that you create. You have the test, same init.file, the environment. These are where the API keys are going to be stored. The git ignore is what you don't want to be committed into GitHub. All right. You have the app py, which is where it's going to leave. The code is going to leave. This prompt I just created with you. This quick setup is something else. This readme, that's where the information is going to go about the application itself. Requirements.txt, that's where it's going to add all the dependencies. And this was just the example of the response that we just got. So maybe we want to reference that into, once we have the chat conversation, we can reference that too, okay? So I think that's probably from a previous run that I did. So I'm just going to get to it. Right now, I'm just going to do Control I. That's going to open up the chat, and it's going to open up the composer. The chat is for you to brainstorm ideas. My apologies. Brainstorm ideas, and to add the prompt itself. And then the composer, that's where you're going to be chatting to be able to generate the code. Okay. So, and I misspoke on that one. The chat is for you to ask questions, and the composer is where you're going to input the prompt, and then that's where it's going to start adding all the code. So, with that said, I'm going to go to the prompt here. I'm going to go ahead and paste it over here. And then I'm going to tell it to also reference the response.json file. Oh, response. Did it add it? Didn't add it. Okay. I'm just gonna do this response JSON file. Okay. Response.json file for output example. All right. And then towards the end here, please make sure to check the source code to understand the file structure. And these videos, you can actually watch them at 1.2 or 1.5, depending on how fast or how slow I go. That's for your convenience. But let's just go ahead and start the process. I gave it the prompt, I gave it the examples, I gave it the client API, the client structure for the actor itself. I gave it instructions to start checking, to check the source code, to check the examples and everything like that. Right now it's doing its job. And it's been already 10 minutes and we just started, but let's watch it to see from this point in time towards the end, how long would it take for it to build the app. So let's just wait and see. Like, it's giving me, so it's adding all the information. You can see here, this is the project, the structure. You have the Zillow client, you have the properties.py, the property service, the API. That's the git ignore. The API, that's normally the Streamlit interface. You have the APIs, you have the requirements.txt, you have the test, because I had a test file here, so it added a test. And you have the README, which it didn't add the README, but I'm going to go ahead and copy here. Sometimes it just doesn't do a very good job creating the README file, but that's something that we can leave towards the end. And that should do it. So just give it a second here. I accept it. And it says this implementation follows a solid, the UI simply intuitive sidebar. So we're just going to follow instructions here to make sure we see what we can run. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I could tell it to run it for me, or I can run it myself. Let's see what instructions. Let's try to use this. See, if you're not very familiar as to which commands to run, let's try to do it through Cursor Composer. Could you please run the app? Use Windows commands. Let's see. So normally right now you will have to create a virtual environment. You will have to run the requirements.txt files to be able to get all the dependencies, and then run a Streamlit to be able to run the app. So this is what it's telling me here. So let's do this one. So let's create a virtual environment. Okay. Then I have to activate it. So I'm just copy pasting, right? This VMV in green should give you the green light for you to run the requirements.txt. Requirements.txt is trying to install these requirements here. So Streamlit, Apify client, Python.m, pandas, and PyTest. And then I can run the app Streamlit.run py once this finishes. And let's see what we get here. It's 14 minutes. That means 4 minutes creating the app. 10 minutes gathering the data and gathering all the information and me speaking it slow. So let's see. Still creating the files. And I don't want to edit or stop this situation here. I want to make sure that you see it how I see it. All right. And then I'm going to run this Streamlit, run that PY. It opened up the app. Let's see what it gives us. Zillow property search. Okay. Now, maximum, minimum. I want to be able to give it a minimum. So right now, this is what I'm going to do. Since I don't want to spend my credits. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my initial run. I'm going to go to integration, actually a storage. This actually gives me a data set that I can actually plug in to here somewhere. I should be able to run it, or maybe here. Let me see. It's not here. Should be services model. This Zillow client. I should be able to. So this is the actor ID. That's fine. I want to comment this out and just my default ID here. Let's just see what it does, see if this works. But that's normally how you would hard code which data set you wanted to check, and hopefully it'll return it, and it actually did. So that's pretty much 7 minutes. Well, it's been 7 minutes from the time that we started to run the application in Cursor to what we see now. Okay. I would change this a little bit because I want to be able to see how many results we get. Let me see if the input parameter, like if I check here, and again, please bear with me here. I'm trying to make sure. So these are optional. I know that there's no maximum. So we have 10, maximum of 10, but we don't see that price minimum. I don't know if I would be able to pass it. To pass that as an input. So I'm just checking, see if I can gather some of that information here. Or what I can do is I can run it. I'm gonna abort it so that it doesn't run many results. Well, actually, I wonder how I can limit this. Okay, let's just do by price. Maybe we can do this. So, okay. So right now we have the application. It is giving us the price. Let's see if I do this, it doesn't. Okay. So if I change the search criteria, it clears the results. Here in the results, I'm able to expand the table. I'm getting 100. I'm able to export it, I believe, actually. Yeah. I'm able to search. I can collapse. When I click on View Zillow, does it take me to Zillow? Yeah, it takes me to Zillow. That's it. I mean, I'm pretty pleased with the result. I just wanted to show you how the results communicate back to Apify. That way, you know the whole integration. But let's do that. So I'm just going to go ahead. A minimum price of 900,000. Do we have? Yeah. Let's do Let's do 800,000. This is a million. Buy sell. I'm sorry, buy for sale by agent. And then I'm going to come here. I'm going to see the runs. And then I'm going to click. Actually, 1 second. I'm going to change the code here real quick. I'm going to go back to adding that as a default. And then adding that as the run. I'm going to refresh again to make sure that it captures that information that I gave it. And then I'm going to go ahead and click search. Authentication token was not provided. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this real quick, see what it tells me. And I'm going to paste it. Oops. Paste it here. In the Cursor Composer chat. It's going to start thinking and giving me some sort of results. I'm going to accept. And then I'm going to try to run again. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Streamlit. Make sure everything is fine. I'm going to make sure it runs again. It's searching for properties. It's hitting Apify here, as you can see. And I'm just going to have to wait for, I don't know how many results it's going to try to get. But I don't want you to wait either here for it to come up with the results. I mean, hopefully it's not that many, but we'll see. Just going to close some of this stuff here. This one is not working. This one is still searching properties. It's going to wait. Okay. So that was fairly quick. It took around 47 seconds, 44 seconds. And given the criteria that we gave it, you see how many results we got. It's 43 results. Okay. So we have the results here. I will clean this up a little bit to make it, maybe make this wider, maybe to give it better search criteria or some parameters so that the user can maybe filter the column. But I think this is pretty good to not having to write a line of code and to just chat with AI to give you a visualization of a data set from Zillow. So let me just go ahead. One more change. Let's see. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you much. He looks great. Great. Could you increase the size of the table and the listings and make it, let's say, full width? Also, can you add more filters so that the user can use them to narrow down the results? So let's see what it does. I'm going to go ahead and change back the result set. That way, again, we don't have to wait that long and we don't spend our credits. So I'm just gonna go here, go back to my Zillow service. I'm going to comment these out, and then I'm going to hard code it here. And then I'm going to come right back here. Let's see what it says. So the main changes: enhance filters, add minimum, maximum for bedrooms, the square footage, improve layout, organize sidebar, made a search button full width, increase table height, added results count. Okay. So I'm good with that. I'm going to refresh again. There we go. So you see that? Now you have this whole set navigation bar with everything that you need. Right now, I wouldn't have to put anything because it's actually going to call an existing data set. I'm just going to click. Okay, let's see. I'm going to click research. We got this error. That's fine. I'm going to fix that. That's probably part of the parameters that were just added. No biggie. So let me go make sure we got this. Okay. And it's going to make the necessary changes to make it work. So 26 minutes so far. I know it's painful sometimes to just see these working, but I think it's very useful to put yourself in your shoes as to what you're going to do. Like, this is more of a shadow session, over the shoulder session that is going to help with your process. That way you wouldn't get frustrated. Because I know it can be frustrating sometimes not getting the results that you want. Okay. All right. So we got that. Let me just do one more thing here. I think this is working. Just going to tell it. Actually, 1 second. Just going to tell it to use. You can do that too. You can actually use the full width of the screen. And then I paste that. And let's see if this is working. So if I increase, yeah. So this is not working. Property features. Actually, let me see. These are not filters from the actual actor. So I don't want these filters. I don't want the navigation filters to clear the result set. So also when user modifies the navigation filter, the results are getting clear. Can you please fix it so the results persist? Okay. Just gonna go ahead and wait and see. I should have accepted the previous changes, but that's no biggie. Just wait and see. Almost there. So it's just going, updating the information. I'm going to click save. Then I'm going to refresh, search again, and it should give me the results from last time just because we hard coded it. But as you saw before, it actually calls Apify, then returns the data that it needs. I'm just going to do that. So accept all. Oh man, it's messed it up completely. Let's see. Yeah, it's not good. Okay, now you can see this, how frustrating this is, because depending on what you do, it may just change the stuff that it shouldn't have been changed. So what we can do is full width. the screen. I'm going to revert. So it has the option to revert the changes. Down to, so reapply. I'm just gonna do reapply here. Save all. Let's see what we get. Okay, fine. Okay. So that's fine. And then if I do this, all right, so let's just go and repeat my command. When user modifies filters, results get cleared. Could you please fix and persist results? Let's see what it does. No, I know it's painful to watch me. Just watch this. You could do 1.2, 1.5, skip ahead, or just, if you want to watch the whole thing, you're welcome to do that. But that's what I have to do in order for me to create these videos. So you might as well watch it if you want to do it yourself. Maybe you kind of start creating content as well. I don't know. But, at least you're kind of getting the whole experience. All right, let's see what we got here. Please enter search criteria and click search. Fine, I did it. Oh, where's the search button? It's here. Okay, so this is our search criteria. This is the search criteria. These are the filters. If I do this, oh, it does. It does modify the search results. 10 beds. Max beds. 5. Okay, so how many results are here? So it's 8, you see? So even this table here got modified. I don't like the width of this, but I don't want to mess it up. Font, the matching. Matching. Okay, so let me just do this. So results table, make it full width. Let's try it this way. Be detailed, and then property details. Make it full width. Let's try one more time. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I like this so far. If I increase this, so you see like the table increases and then the results increases. I want to make sure that when I click on the button, it still takes me to the Zillow property. Great. Okay. And then I can sort it by beds, or I can sort it by square footage. This is pretty useful. Yeah, I wonder if any real estate people would be interested on this scraper. They can actually do it themselves. We'll probably build it for you, no biggie. But let's see what we get from these. All right, so I'm just going to refresh, make sure that it got the changes. And it didn't do it. I don't know why. What would it be? Let's see. Maybe we just cut it off here because we're getting the results that we want. This is more cosmetic. Again, this is more of a prototype. Let's see. Results, property service, sidebar, search criteria, location. 42 matching price range. Properties not a session. Property features. Okay, so that's all the way down. Reduce padding. I'm just gonna try it again. Can you please make the results? Can you please make the results full width? Right now, it is centered narrow. Let's try it again. If we don't get it back, that's fine. Again, this is a POC. We call it POC, which is a proof of concept, or MVP, which is a minimum viable product. We're getting the data that we need. Right now, it's pretty much for me to show you A through C what it takes to build an app without writing any lines of code, gathering specific data, in this case, API, responses, inputs, keys, and all the stuff in order for you to be able to communicate with the platform that you want to communicate, and getting data back and displaying it in a way that is more user-friendly, okay? Instead of just getting, I'll show it to you again, getting the data like this, which doesn't really make sense when you read through it. I mean, you could put in a spreadsheet and modify it and do whatever you want, but I think whenever you have like an interface that you can interact with and filter like this way, it's much better and much easier for a user to do that instead of going through a spreadsheet. And okay, so I don't think, it actually did. Good. Now it's too much. Now it's too much. All right. That's fine. We could always keep on playing. Can you make it? You just put my head here and let me just try one more time. I wanna try to fix it with you guys on the line. So let's see this. Now my head is on the way. Just get my bubble. Can I remove me? That's fine. Just gonna do this. Can you make can you reduce the size results and make it 3/4 padding and make the images smaller? So I took a screenshot and I added my instructions, and I'm just letting it do its job. And let's see. Let's just try one more time. I want to make sure that this looks clean, at least. But we're getting there. So let's see. Okay, so you see it's making the changes on the actual files. Improve typography, property card improvements, more compact information. Let's just do that. Let's do search. Perfect. You see that? So now it's 3/4 of the screen. In this case is the screen here that we're seeing after the navigation bar. I liked it when the results were on the left of the picture. So maybe we could do that. We can tell it. Can you all the meta data about the listing next to the image instead of at the bottom? Let's see. You just take a picture so I know what it's looking at, right? Let's see. I'm here. I'm still here. It's just quiet, waiting for the results. I hope you like this content. I mean, again, it's it's painful. I've repeated myself so many times. It's it's hard to watch and just wait. But in the bigger scheme of things, this is an application that would have taken weeks, months. So it's more of a back and forth, waiting for people to develop, waiting for people to test. When you're actually doing these under 60 minutes, so it's 40 minutes minus 10 at the beginning. So it's less than 30 minutes. And we even have time to spare and kind of add enhancements, making sure the results are coming the right way. Bruh, just messed it up. You messed these up. Okay, I'm gonna do it one more time. I don't want these to just... And again, this is things that you're going to experience. So I don't want to take these out of the experience. And I'm going to keep it on the video. That way, you know, hey, to know what to do. Hey, the results are not displaying properly. Can you please fix and display the metadata of the property next to the image like you did the first time? I'm just trying to take it back to use as a reference what he did. That way, did I close? Did I close? Yeah, I closed it. Come on. Let me just bring it back real quick. Okay, so we're here. I don't know what happened. Okay, let's accept the changes. Let's refresh. Let's search. No. Okay. One more time. I'm going to ask it one more time. I know. Let's do it again. Can you move? I try to tell it. I don't even know if it knows. Move this here. Can you move the property details next to the image? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, refresh. Search. Man. Try again. I need the property details like address, pets, tattoos, etc. On the same row of the image. Let's see if it understands that. Let's go. I'll modify the property card layout to show the details on the same row as the image. Here are the details. Okay, so move Zillow button. Let's see. Spray. Make sure it's good. All right. So this looks much better. You have the table. You can expand, collapse. You have the properties. You have the details of the properties. You get the Zillow button again. So it opens up the Zillow listing. Let's make sure that we have the filters still working. So let's say we do 5. Okay, so yeah, it reduces the table, which is great. And that should do it. So as you can see, I walk you through how to build an application from scratch using Apify, which is the API marketplace to be able to gather the data. So it's more of to get the data sets that we need. We're using Python and Streamlit to be able to parse that data and to display it in a graphical user interface, GUI or user interface, in this case, this application. And I'm using Cursor AI to give it the prompt with all the information that we need and to write the code for me. All I have to do is kind of review it, accept it, test the application, and then start like iterating whenever I don't see changes. So you saw from the beginning all the errors that he did, the errors that I got, how he messed up things based on certain requests. So you have to be very specific. You need to, of course, it's not going to be perfect the first time. And I don't feel it's still, this is good, but it's still, maybe needs some cleanup or something. But this can help somebody, in real estate business to gather the information that you need. So you see the errors here, like the image here is bigger than the image, smaller than the image here. So this needs work, okay? I'm not saying that this is perfect, but at least it'll take you to a place where you have something working within 30 minutes. And then if you were to, implement this somewhere, you can actually improve it based on the user's feedback. So right now, this is something that somebody can take to a potential client or to a friend or even for themselves, see what works, see what doesn't work, get feedback, and then based on that feedback, you optimize it, okay? So that's all you have to do. If you have any questions, any comments, any ideas of, any new application or anything that you want to see, please let me know. I'm here to help at any time. And that should do it. So I'm pretty pleased with the results. I'm glad that you were able to see, step by step, how to build it from scratch, from zero, not having any code, to, having a fully functional application with filters and everything. And that's it. So let me know if you have any questions. I'll talk to you soon. See you in the next video. Take care. Thank you.